Hi guys, I thought I'd do another video on how do I know if I need a water softener or a water filter. It's easy for the most part. People try and filter out, if it's a filter, then they're going to want to filter out just a couple of things. One, it's either sand, it's chlorine if you're on city water, or if you're on well water and you have chlorine injection into your system to get rid of hydrogen sulfide or disinfect it for whatever reason, I'm not sure, but and then hydrogen sulfide and or iron. Now there are various kinds of filters, and we can get into that another time, but this is how do I know if I need a water softener or a water filter. And usually what people see is low pressure, and so they think, oh, I got something plugging up my lines or my faucets, so I need a filter. So what they do is, usually it's the kitchen faucet because that's used the most. They'll take the little water saver off and or the shower, and they look inside there, and there's little square pieces of what looks like debris or sand to them. It's either square or rectangular or triangular, but there's usually a shape like that with edges. And really what that is, it's calcium that's broken loose from the inside of the lines, and it's made its way to your water saver and plugging up your water saver. Usually if you've got sand, it doesn't show up there sometimes, but not usually. The best place to know if you've got sand is go to your toilet, and in the toilet tank in the back, you take your lid off and look inside there. If you can't see anything, turn the water off down below, flush your toilet and let the water run out. And you have about this much water in there. Stick your finger in and feel. And if it's gray, that's usually because you're on a well, and it's just silt. It'll go away. You can wash it down the drain, and then usually it's gone. If it comes back, then you've got a sand problem. Or there'll be sand, more granular sand down there. The gray stuff is like a talcum powder, and that's from drilling. Usually shows up on a new well. If it continues to show up, then you're going to need a sand filter. But if you've got the granular sand, naturally you know you need a sand filter. And I'll put a couple of sand filters in the description down there. It's the kinds I personally like the best. But I'll put a very different ones down there. There'll be like one that you have to remove the filter and put a new filter in. And then there's going to be a twisted clean, which I think is the best. You just lift up a little lever, turn the knob, the water goes out, washes the sand down, turn it back, and then hit your lever. You just got to be careful with the lever because the levers have a tendency to break if you're not careful. But anyways, the other way to know if you need a water softener or a filter is get a water test kit. And I'll have one in the description down there that you can get from Amazon as well. You test your water to see if it's hard. If it's hard, then you need a water softener. And I guess I'll put a water softener down there too, or one that you can look at that I like. I recommend because it's inexpensive, it works, and parts are easy to get. I've got a bunch of videos on it. I've even got a video on my replacing this piston seal and spacer kit after about 5 or 10 years. Water test kit is the best way to tell if you need a water softener, or you can have a local company come out and test it for you and tell you whether or not you need. Sometimes the problem is they'll tell you need a water softener because there's good money in water softeners. That's why I recommend just get the test kit and test it yourself and then go from there. Now if it's more than sediment, you know what I'm talking about basically is just sediment, just a sand deal. If you're talking about hydrogen sulfide or iron filters, I've got a video on what's the best iron filter. You can use the exact same one for hydrogen sulfide, even though there is a water filter. Its whole house is big that's used for hydrogen sulfide, but it's got carbon inside of it. So if you've got hydrogen sulfide and you know it's not iron, because in your test kit you're going to want to test for iron also, because iron bacteria will smell like hydrogen sulfide. And so you can get I'll put it in the description below as well, a carbon filter with a canister, and that will stop your hydrogen sulfide odor. Once you start to get hydrogen sulfide odor in the house again, then you have to replace your cartridge. If you've got hydrogen sulfide, you're going to want to bleach your lines. Basically, and that's if you've got a well. I'm sorry, I should have said that in the beginning. If you've got a well, Then you want to bleach your well, and there's a little blue cap or square nut on the top of your well head. You can pour half a gallon of bleach in there. Then you take your hose and turn it on and run water in there until you start smelling bleach. Once you do, turn the water off. Go into your house, turn on all your faucets until you smell bleach coming out of your lines. Once you do that, turn them off. Then go out there and put your filter on. And always put your filter after your pressure tank, not before your pressure tank. Okay? After, otherwise you're going to ruin your well pump. And so that way you disinfect all your lines from hydrogen sulfide. You put your filter in with the carbon filter in it, and go from there. You shouldn't have any more hydrogen sulfide odor in the house. If you're on city water, the only thing you're really filtering out is chlorine, because it can make your skin itch, and or you may not like that smell in the bathtub. And I'm not quite sure where I stand on steam and chlorine and inhaling it. I don't think that it's real healthy. You can buy shower heads that have chlorine or carbon granules inside of them to stop that from happening. I don't go way overboard on stuff, but it's something that I think about. I just live on a well, so I don't pursue it too much, and I don't pursue the study of that and the results of it a lot. But anyways, if you're on the city, you can get chlorine filters, which are just carbon filters, or you can get yourself a reverse osmosis if you want drinking water. And I've got, I think, a video on what's the best reverse osmosis system or something, but you can go to, that's it, what's the best reverse osmosis system.net for one of those, and you can buy one pretty inexpensive and put it under your kitchen sink, and now you've got filtered water that's basically purified. So anyways, I hope this helps. Just to reiterate real quick, a filter means you're stopping debris like sand or iron or hydrogen sulfide, and it's not debris until it's been oxidized, but it's still in the water, still creates an odor. Or you're thinking, I might need a water softener because I've got little pieces in my water saver. Get a water test kit, check it if it's hard, get a water softener, and you can go to lowcostwatersofteners.com, and I think the first page you go to shows a water softener. I'll also put one of those in the description, and you can get a water softener, like I said, inexpensive, etc., etc. Okay? Thanks. If you liked it, give us a thumbs up. Don't be afraid to share. Like us on Facebook with Low Cost Water Softeners on Facebook. Anyways, have a great day, and we'll see you again.